Pep, Xavi, even Jurgen Klopp. All these guys are incorporating the double pivot using a defender to slot into there. The question now is, how can we incorporate that into Football Manager? As you can see, that's us set up with our back four across there and midfield with our striker, all set up in like a 4-3-3. Now, when we win the ball back here, we're still in the 4-3-3, but as the move progresses, you can see that there we go. As we pause it there, 15, our inverted wing back slots into the DM slot with number 18, and we've got that back four box there and letting the other players bomb on. You can kind of see it there on the heat map. There's number 15, Valverde. Now remember, in defensive positions, he does drop back into his full-back position, and then when we're in possession, he drops there. So his average position is somewhere in the middle. If I look at passing network, however, you can see a left wing back high and wide, right wing back playing in this role we've got him playing, sitting in the defensive midfield zone. And this is the formation we just played. Now, as you can see, Valverde is slotted in at right back. If we look at Valverde, he's not a natural right back. He can fill in there now and again, but because he's got such a broad range of attributes and the more midfielder attributes, he fits perfectly when he's going to spend a lot of his time in there. And the inverted wing back position is probably something you've used quite a lot, but most people, you will use it on support or even on attack. To maintain that box position in central midfield and have him in there on the ball, we have him down in this position as inverted wing back on defend. Right, let me explain. You can see Valverde there, inverted wing back. If he was on support duty, when we've got the ball high up the pitch, he'd look to be in those sort of areas there. If he's on attack, even more aggressive, you'll see him basically acting like a Secunde Volante, coming from wide and getting in the box. Because he's on defend duty, he's going to be more inclined to stay in this pivot area with Tchouaméni, so we've got a double pivot there instead. Now hopefully this clip will show you it perfectly how it works. So he's here in the right back slot, we've got a free kick, so he's in his 4-3-3 setup. As we play, I'm going to slow it down actually just so you can properly see what I'm talking about. As we play on, now he receives the ball, gives it to Rodrigo. If he is now a support or attack, he's off. He's either underlapping Rodrigo and going into here, or he's breaking into there. Instead, he sits, holds his position. Remember, number 18 is the other player in the pivot zone. And you can see there, bang, gets the ball. He wouldn't be getting the ball there if he's on support or attack. He'd be higher up, closer to 12 or 9. Because he's got defend duty, he's going to sit in line with the defensive midfielder and instead prefers to play the ball from deeper. So we've got ourselves, as you can see there, our double pivot. We've sacrificed width on the right, but we're going to give that to the winger to do that double duty, if you like. It's a bit what Pep does. He's got those two in there doing that double pivot, supporting the back players, and he's allowing the right winger to do the work, most of the work, down that side. Even better clip here. There's Tchouaméni, number 6 pivot, and there's our new double pivot right next to Morata. We play it on, you can see 15 and 18. He's not moving a muscle. Now when the ball goes down the left hand side, if he's on support or attack, he's backing up the attack. He's going to be on the edge of the box or making a break into the box. Instead, he simply holds his position, holds, and that's exactly where you want him. It's basically like an anchor man or defensive midfielder, so it gives you another option of allowing all your other players to bomb on. For example, number 10 there, that is Modric, and number 12, Camavinga. I've got them both on attack duties, central midfielder, attack and advanced playmaker. They're free to bomb on, knowing that they're not leaving number 18 by himself. They've got Valverde in that pivot as well. What it does mean is Rodrigo here obviously got a lot of work to do. If he loses the ball now, we're going to have a big gap there. So you've got a couple of options in this instance. And your options are the following. So we're going to know he's going to spend a lot of the time in there. And if we lose the ball high up, then he's going to have to track back and cover it. Or we're going to ask our central midfielder to help out as well. We can do that by dropping into his player instructions, asking him to stay wider when we've got the ball, because then when we do lose the ball, he's probably going to be around that area anyway, so it's going to help. Of course, the other option is to drop your winger to either a wide midfielder or defensive winger, meaning he won't be as advanced. But if you're a good team like Real Madrid are with technical players, you don't want to be planning for losing the ball. You want to be planning for going in an attack. So I like this setup here, inverted wing back defend, and you've got a winger just in front. His starter position is a bit deeper than Vinicius on the other side, but it still provides attacking and defensive work. Well, if we take a defensive midfielder like Camavinga, for example, and focus him on the defensive midfield area there, you can see that not many technical attributes are going to be needed, such as your dribbling and your finishing and your crossing, because you're not asking him to bomb forward. So that's why it's probably a good example of a player who could do that job. In fact, Camavinga is doing it in real life. Of course, there's nothing wrong with using your current right back to do the job, such as Dani Carvajal, but a bit like Man City when they were reluctant to use Walker in that role, the passing and vision aren't exactly what a midfielder would have, so that's why using a midfielder in this role as an inverted wing back is what I like to go for. It's why Valverde is such a great option. You can see his passing's great, his vision's good, teamwork, work rate, but he's also got good marking and good positioning, so he's going to have a defensive responsibility as well. He's pretty much perfect to adapt to this role. Just don't forget, if you go for this, to go to training when you first start the game and getting set up as that wing back, you're going to want him to do that job, so you might as well let him train like that as well. And as the attributes are highlighted for training, you can see just how good of an option he is. It also gives us the option to try truly mad stuff. Well, I mean, how about this? This looks ridiculous, right? However, Barcelona had absolutely no answer to it and we battered them 7-1, and down in the bottom you can see we used Carvajal as the inverted wing back on this occasion and he wasn't that good, whereas Valverde at wing was amazing. I wouldn't play that away from home against Man City. Now, what is the difference between attack and defend? The difference is huge. I've now got Valverde on the inverted wing back attack and you'll see the difference right now. So we haven't got the ball at the minute, but when we do get the ball back, right now you can see him inching forward. And when it comes near his side, as Vallejo takes it, he is off. Now look at that. If he's on defend duty, he's basically sitting here, but because he's on attack, he's off, he's dribbling with the ball, he's acting like a central midfielder on attack, breaking into the box, crushing the bar. That's the big difference. So which to use, that's entirely up to you. If you're a good team, you can obviously take advantage of it in fixtures that are coming up, such as now. Villarreal, Trabzonspor, I'll probably use him as an attacking inverted wing back. Away to Betis and Napoli, I'll probably flick him back to that inverted wing back on defend. So if you're looking to defend with a normal back four, but in attack gaining that extra double pivot midfielder, go and experiment with the inverted wing back on defend.